So about 15 years ago, I had the first job directly related to climate change in my life. And I was really excited. I was working for a department in the Northern Territory. It was responsible for climate change, environment, the arts, natural resources, all of the good things, right? And I was really excited at the opportunities there, but all I was seeing was blocks. And I wanted to be part of the solution, but I was actually feeling really powerless and, if I'm honest with you, part of a bigger problem. I was sharing these feelings with a really good friend I'd made up in the Territory and was wondering, well, if I can't make a difference here, where should I go next? Where is that place that I could be more effective? And she said to me, well, she actually gave me the best advice of my life, which I wanted to share with you today. She said, there is no one place, that we have to be everywhere. We have to be everywhere to make things line up. And I feel like it's really important timing to be reminded of this or to share this with you, because acting alone, we will not win. We need to find each other like never before to make those things line up. And that's why 15 years later, I'm so proud today to be talking about the Clean State Jobs Plan. 26 big ideas for 200,000 jobs. It's a blueprint for decarbonisation in Western Australia, and it's proudly parochial. And it's hard not to talk about it without getting really excited, but it's also hard to talk about it in a presentation without giving you 400 slides and a massive shopping list, because it is a blueprint for decarbonisation. So what I'm going to do today instead is a TED exclusive. It's a 60-second snapshot, a 60-second showcase. So are you ready? Okay, start the clock. 90 contributors over 10 economic sectors, creating 200,000 jobs, reducing emissions by 2/3 by 2030, and creating at least $3 billion of benefits every year, plus another $3 billion if we had a green steel industry. It covers everything from local repair labs in our communities right through to entire transition plans for Collie and for Southwest Forestry. It would see renewables, 90% renewables on our grid by 2030, and all of our schools would be covered with solar panels and powered by batteries, which, fun fact, would create $435 million in savings over the lifetime of those panels. It would decarbonise the gas industry, strongly invest in First Nations culture, science and tourism, and it would solve homelessness in 3 years by building 15,000 low-carbon homes for every family languishing on the waiting list. What is not to love? The audacity of this plan, the ambition of this plan, is on the back of 15 years of fails. I remember the job I told you about in the department. Well, on my first day, they sat me down at a desk that had letters, a stack of letters this high, many of them handwritten, from First Nations people pleading with the government not to go ahead with the MacArthur River mine. While I was there, the Impex gas hub was approved without even being assessed. In fact, the election was brought early 6 months so that it could guarantee political stability. That's one of the biggest polluters in the world, 7 million tonnes a year, exporting gas worth $300 billion over its lifetime, which we will not see 1 cent of royalties. And that is happening here in Western Australia today with our own gas industry. That is the subject for another talk. It happened in communities I was part of as a teenager when I was going down to participate in forest actions, because I couldn't believe we were cutting down 400, 600-year-old trees to be wood chipped and turned into toilet paper. That still happens today. I felt it when I was all of those years working as a policy wonk and advisor, creating countless costed initiatives, solutions. It seemed like nobody was listening to, because evidence doesn't matter anymore. We are in a post-evidence reality. And then there were wins. There were massive wins, only to have them unpicked. And I'm thinking of the world-class carbon package that I was really proud to be part of a party that negotiated to deliver. And I'm talking about the carbon price, the $872 million fund for biodiversity. The Clean Energy Finance Corporation got introduced as part of the package, and in the first year that was introduced, emissions cut by 7%, and it was actually estimated to make us $24 billion over 3 years, $24 billion in revenue, only to be erased by the next government. Now, I'm sharing these stories of failure with you because I'm tired. I'm really tired. I'm tired of jobs being used as an excuse to justify projects that are incompatible with our survival, and I'm tired of simple, elegant solutions being right within our grasp, right here in Western Australia, and being overlooked. And I'm tired of grief and sadness and rage being a baseline of emotions right now. And so that's why it's important when I feel this way. I know I'm not the only one, right? And I'm reminded of the advice that my friend gave me, that there is no one place, but that we have to be everywhere. And I'm reminding you of this for 3 reasons today. The first is for hope. When I was given that advice, it felt like hope for the first time. And while we don't have that luxury anymore, we know that time is ticking. Maybe you're in a job or you're in a volunteer position where you're wondering, where could I have more power? Well, you are in the right place. The second reason is because finally I feel like we're starting to see really big things line up. I'm thinking of Joe Biden's $2 trillion climate package. I'm thinking of the Climate Investor 100 plus, that a global group of investors, now 400 strong, controlling $47 trillion of global investment, and they're telling the world's biggest polluters time is up. I'm thinking of our jobs plan, because I feel like our jobs plan is the embodiment of finding where everyone is and lining things up to make something greater than the sum of its parts. And we are getting through doors we never have got through before. We're having meetings with ministers in the opposition, and we have businesses on board. 200 businesses have signed up. We're having amazing breakthroughs in the community with our road shows, and just with the optimism that people can feel and they can see themselves in this plan, and it's so nice to talk about something positive. But the third reason I'm sharing this with you, this advice with you today, is because of right here in this room. What could be possible if 250 of WA's climate leaders were in the same place magically? What could we line up? What could be possible if someone magically stepped on the accelerator to make us find each other? A decarbonised economy where we are all part of the solution and where no one is left behind. But we've been told that the community aren't ready. But polling we've done for 2 years in a row has found that 80% of people in the community want action on climate change. We've been made to feel like we are the radicals, that we are in the minority, but our polling also found that only 4% of people that were surveyed were true deniers. We've been told that action on climate change is expensive, or it'll cost jobs, or it'll wreck the economy, but we know the opposite is true. Our plan creates 200,000 jobs. And we know, all of us here would know, that action on climate change is the best thing you can do for the economy and society. So that's why I'm urging you not to play small. I'm urging you to find each other. I'm urging you to have tough conversations at work or where you volunteer, especially if that's in oil and gas. And I remember, because the advice was that we have to be everywhere. And it turns out that we are. So let's act like it. Thank you.